Look at the professionalism on another channel, because you won't find it here. Right then, what we have here is a Dreamcast, a slightly grubby Dreamcast that could do with a little bit of retro brighting, but However, what we have inside is a, what do they call them? GDMU? Is that what it? Yes, there it is. It's written right there. Look, see, I can't find my finger now. There it is. GDMU. Do you need me to take it out and show you? Have I got to take this thing apart and show you what it is? Because you've never heard of them. Surely you've heard of them. I'm kind of late to the game with these. They've been around a while. I'll open my Dreamcast up and show you. Here we go then, in true Blue Peter style. Here's one I opened earlier. Took the screws out anyway. And there is your GDMU. Basically, you unscrew your Dreamcast. There are 4 screws. 3 of them are accessible immediately. The 4th one is inside the expansion thing. You take off your expansion and you can get at the screw in there. They're kind of tight, the screws. I didn't find them. I had to find exactly the right size screwdriver. So you take it apart like that. You take out your optical drive, your GD-ROM drive, game disk I think it stands for. You take that out. That's just 3 screws holding it in. And then you pull and it comes out just like that, no messing around, piece of cake. You get this board and you slot it in exactly the same place. I'm going to pull it out just to show you. It goes there. This bit here goes there. Now some of these, it comes without the micro SD card. That's just a standard. It comes without the SD card. Put a sentence together, Steve. So you've got to provide your own. That's normal. Some of these come with, well, instructions for a start and little legs, like little plastic legs that you can attach to hold it up and in place when you plug it in here. This one didn't, because this one was cheap. I've seen them selling for between £80 and, well, £36. Obviously, the more you spend, I imagine, the more support and information and little extras you get. There were no extras. This is what I got. Packaging was a joke. It had 1 layer of bubble wrap around it and was in a plastic bag. That was it, and it came here all the way from China. And it survived, which was impressive. So, given that I didn't get the little plastic legs, what am I using? Because I don't want to just plug it in there and let it, like, well, it'll break probably. Blue tack. High-tech stuff here. Which way around did I put it? Can't remember. We'll just do that. Stick the blue tack on there like that. And can't tell what you can see. I'm peering around the camera. There we go. Blue tack holds it steady so it doesn't like go down too far and break the connections here and stuff like that. And that's it. Well, I say that's it. You get your SD card and you put a piece of software on it. Basically I don't know if you'd call it the operating system, the file system. I'll show you. Actually, I won't plug that back in. I'll plug that into my computer and point the camera at my screen and show you what happens next. Bear with me. Okay, so you download a piece of software from, I'll give you the URL in the information bar thingy below, called GDMenu version 0.6 brackets 24/8/2016. In it you will get, because it will come as a zip file, you unzip it, you will get the readme text which has all the instructions you will need. I didn't bother reading them because I watched a video by ETA Prime that explained what to do. Very useful video. You get that, and then you get this folder with 01 in it, which is the file system that will be loaded by your Dreamcast. This the board thing will load files, CDI files, nothing to do with the Philips CDI, and GDI files, no bin and queue as far as I'm aware. So that's your first folder. Then to add games, you create more folders, numbering them 02, 03, 04. Start with a 0 until you get to 10, and then obviously you don't start with a 0. You have to, there is a naming convention for these. If you're ripping your own discs, which you should, obviously you shouldn't be downloading them off the internet. But if you do, you'll get file names like this. Whopping great big thing, blah blah blah, .gdi. You change the name to disk, spelled with a C. All lowercase, disk.gdi, like what I've done here. There, disk CDI. CDI seem to be just one file and are also, I think, more highly compressed. Most of what I've got is GDIs. They take more space, and I don't know what the benefits of them are, but there you go. Let's see. Yeah, so I don't know. Track 01 bin, raw bin, whatever, but you'll always get your main file will be called something big and long and blah 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 .gdi. Just change it to disk.gdi, and that's it. And you have them like numbered in folders, starting at 2 because 1 will always be your file system, GDI or CDI, can't remember. Yeah. And that's it, really. I'll show you what it looks like when you plug it in. I was going to say something else just then, and I've forgotten what it was, because duh. Okay. Had a slight technical issue there. My Dreamcast VGA box wasn't responding, and it does that sometimes. I have to unplug it and replug it, and then it works. And so when we boot up, you hear the beep again, we get this, which is all very normal and Dreamcasty. Is that a word? Dreamcasty. Well, that's what it is, so no. Then we get the loading, because it's loading. That's not really centered, is it? There. And you get this, and you can't see what's up there. There we go. Look at the professionalism on another channel, because you won't find it here. This is what you get, GDMenu, and the slightly, I won't say annoying, yes it's annoying, when you have all of your files changed to disk.gdi, you can't actually look at them and know what you've got in what folder. If you're me, you'll forget what's in what, so you can't easily put them all into alphabetical order, so you then get a game list like this, which is just like completely random. I will at some point, I don't know, take a screen grab or something of this list and then change the folder names so that I've got them in alphabetical order. So I've got a 32 gig SD card plugged into here, and I've got 27 games in it. That's using mainly, probably about 90% of these are GDI files. Probably if I used CDI files I could fit a fair few more on here. I don't know what the benefit is in using GDI. I ain't got a clue, but they're what I've got because I found a site full of them and used that. No, obviously I didn't do that. I ripped them all off of my original discs, didn't I? And converted them. Yeah. But that's it. You click. It tells you what buttons to press. There, see, nice and easy. And some of them have game art, and some of them don't. And I don't know. You see, that one hasn't. And I'll tell you why that one hasn't. This game is not Virtua Striker. It lies, because if I press that, it'll do this. I think they've used the Virtua Striker some I don't know, boot file or whatever to create this disk. I don't know if it's a self-booting disk, possibly, but you've got Border Down and Ikaruga on it, both of which are, do you know what, I don't actually remember what Border Down is like, but Ikaruga is obviously bloody brilliant. So it was like a 2-game disc. Yeah, I guess they used Virtua Striker thingy as a boot disc, but that's neither here nor there. Opening up, press the reset button, and nothing happens. So we'll press it again. Also nothing happens. That's interesting. It probably has to be in a game for that to work. We'll just hit the power button then. That's the first time that's happened. So, as you can see, it's not necessarily predictable in how it works sometimes. But the thing that I really like, actually there are quite a few things that I really like about this. It is stable. Okay, the reset button didn't work just then, but boot discs have been a thing on Dreamcasts for a long while. I've got one. I got given probably every Dreamcast game ever made on burned discs. I didn't rip them myself. I didn't buy them. I bought a CDI, and the guy who I bought the CDI off of said, "Would you like these as well?" And I was like, "Yes, please." And it's just a mass of discs of Dreamcast games, which is great. But my Dreamcast became really quite unstable while using them. I say became. I just guess it didn't like them. It didn't like using a bootloader or whatever. Where using this, totally rock solid stable. Yeah, that's really all I've got to say about it. It's a thing. It's a very good thing. If you've got a Dreamcast, if you've got a selection of games that you want to rip yourself and put onto an SD card, and save yourself all the disk swapping and have it all there ready to go, or maybe, you know, obtain the games in other ways. It's great. It's just massively convenient, as all of these, you know, this kind of thing exists on like your EverDrives and such, like on cartridge based systems. Convenience, having it all there at the click of a button, no swapping discs, swapping cartridges, whatever, saving masses of space. Utterly convenient, easy to install, no fiddling around with wiring or anything. You just unscrew the case. I won't say rip out the optical drive, but you know, unscrew it and take it out, plug this thing in, plug the SD card in, put the software on it first, and away you go. It's very, very easy. There is a tutorial on ETA Prime's channel. I'll link you to it should you want to know how to set one of these up, and he'll tell you a lot more effectively than I did, because he's good at that kind of thing and I'm not. That, and I'm just too damn lazy. The last, but actually should be the first, certainly the most important thing I want to say is a huge big thank you to my supporters on Patreon, without whom I wouldn't have bought this. And it's going to enable me to bring you lots of gameplay videos for the Dreamcast, along with many other systems that I've got this kind of thing on, with lots of software that I otherwise wouldn't have had access to quite so easily. Yeah, so thank you to all of my Patreon supporters. I do really appreciate your continued support. It's about all I've got to say about it, really. GDMenu, bought on eBay. There are lots of sellers. Largely they come from China, take a couple of weeks to get here, different prices, same product. It's probably all that will vary will be the packaging and maybe the instructions you get and whether you get the little support legs or whatever, but you know, piece of blue tack does the trick. Wonderful stuff. Okay, thank you for watching.
It says here Bedway offers his thanks to those who subscribe to his Patreon account thing. Is that what he needs?